Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another evening reflections. It's a little late in the evening right now, but I wanted to come on with this reflection because yesterday, Lady G, she wanted to know how my Saturday was. And so I'm going to reflect on that in this video. So welcome back. This is your girl, Miss Beth, and thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking the videos. Please continue to share the videos so we can continue to grow. We want to reach 20,000. And then, I don't know. So tonight, let's talk a little bit about something that happened a few days ago where they found some guns and ammunition, 11 guns, and over 300 rounds of ammunition that was shipped to Jamaica. Well, the people no, that's a different section. Well, the people who deals with this, they did their probe, and yes, a mother from Manchester, along with her sons, one of them 16 years old. 16. Just 16. They were charged for this shipment. And again, I am puzzled because all these guns and ammunitions coming into the country, which already has more than makes sense. There are countries that the policeman doesn't even walk around with a gun. And in Jamaica, you have the police competing with criminals who have better weapons than they have. And the more guns come in, who are they coming in for? Who are they? They're not coming in to shoot birds. So the more we kill off our people, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm not saying, because some of them are so violent, you try to build, you try to have something, and they just come and take it. They just take it. The teacher who was robbed is a male teacher. They took his phone and the few dollars he had on him. Right? Just because. So, guys, we need to wake up. We need to, So they found they had 11 guns, 50 magazines, and over 300 ammunition. And the gleaner stated that the 16-year-old and the other man was charged with possession of identity information. So did they go to clear the barrels with fake IDs? It seems like it, because that's what they're charged with. And the mother was charged with possession of unauthorized ammunition. Then we also want to reflect on 3 men who went to purchase a car from a seller. The seller by himself was entertaining the 3 men. I guess they were negotiating the price of the car, when the men jumped in the car, took off, drove away the man's car. Luckily, he alerted the police, and quickly they found the car in St. Mary at a car wash. So people were locked up, people were charged with possession of stolen item. Now, also if you own an NCB Midas debit card, NCB Midas debit card. Remember that March 31, which is tomorrow, Monday, depending on when you're watching the video, but just remember that on March 31, they will not have any use because they will all be deactivated. All of them will be deactivated. So make sure that you're on point, that you got information and you're following up with it so that you don't end up at the bank trying to use your card and only to find out that it is deactivated. Well, if you're at the bank using it, then you're in the right place because then you can go in and see what's going on. But what if you're out somewhere and you're trying to use the card? So please take note, guys, that on March 31st, all Midas, which are NCB debit cards, will be deactivated. Then we noticed that from Mr. Rubio's visit, they asked him to revisit the travel advisory for Jamaica, because currently Jamaica is at a level 3, which is 111 below the level 4, which means that nobody should go there. They shouldn't travel to the place. So they're hoping. They said they feel confident that he will, that when they revisit it, that Jamaica will get something better. It says the Jamaican tourism leaders are expressing their appreciation for the recent visit of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, welcoming both his presence on the island and his commitment to reassess the U.S. State Department's current travel advisory for Jamaica. It says that that following discussions, he announced that we're going to go back and reevaluate the travel advisories as they currently stand to ensure they do reflect the reality of the new numbers and what the numbers show. So that was his pledge. So now the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Holiness, expressed his enthusiasm at the prospect, saying that, and this is Prime Minister Holiness speaking, that we are committed to working collaboratively to ensure that travel advisories reflect the current realities and promote travel to Jamaica. He said he's confident that the dialogue initiated will lead to tangible outcomes. So for the best, because we know that since July 25th, 2024, the U.S. State Department maintained a level 3 for Jamaica, which means that people should reconsider traveling to Jamaica on the basis of crime and inadequate medical services available in the country. And he says, and it's saying here that this is just one step below the highest level advisory type, level 4, which says do not travel, and which doesn't cast a popular Caribbean island destination in a particularly favorable light. So are they telling the truth that crime is down, or are they just crunching numbers to, get the advisory to change, And so it says that it says, according to the official notice, violent crime, including armed robberies and sexual assaults, are common even in tourist areas. So I don't know if they're just saying it so that they can get a more favorable look on Jamaica, or the ratings, the data that they're showing are that things are better if it's really so. We just have to keep hopeful. We just have to keep praying and just, understand that this world is topsy-turvy. It's a lot of unnecessary things going on. But we hope for the best. We keep praying and watching and praying for the best. It's hard when you don't even bother people. You're just going about your business or what, but people need to bother others. We can live as one. We can live as one. So, as per lady, 10 minutes, so I'll be off soon. She asked about yesterday, so let me reflect on Sabbath. Friday evening, Sabbath started and I went live. I went live with little Kayla and we sang and we had a good time. It was very rewarding. Very rewarding. When we got off, I noticed that we had 97 who dropped in and dropped out, but 97 who visited while we went live. So we got off on Sabbath morning, as I said, we worshiped with Lucy SDA Church. Beautiful day because it was 13th Sabbath, then it was communion, and when I say people look at me like I'm crazy, when I said the singing, when I go to church, the singing is my thing. I love, especially when the pastors are preaching and they just roll out into a song or, and just bring everybody back together with a song. I love singing. I love it. That's my favorite thing in church. People say, you're crazy. What about the sermon? I prefer the singing. The singing just makes you feel uplifted. Sometimes pastors preach, but, it's not as stirring for me as when we all sing together. So with that said, because of communion, a lot of singing. And then they had break for lunch or what have you, and we were just here, and about 4 o'clock my son called. My son called, and we were just having a good conversation. Grayson did very well. His report card was beautiful. So I sent him, just like I did my children, when they get good report cards, they get a little change to pick up something that, whatever, it's theirs. So I was asking Sherry, what did Grayson get? I said he needs to get an ice cream cone, and he needs to share one with, he needs to share with Gia, get one for Gia as well, and the rest should go to his piggy bank. So we had a good conversation, and there was a situation, and a few months ago, and I was telling my son, I said, I was trying to do this for this person, and it wouldn't go through, and it's strange. It was the strangest thing. And I was saying to myself, maybe that's what God saying, Beverly, you're retired, you don't have it, chill, just something like that. But I never look at life like that. I said, if there's a need and I can afford, a little something, I'm going to put it. Retired or not. The widow with the little mite, she never sit and say, well, I'm retired, I'm on fixed income, I don't have it, I can't. She never used the word can't. She put what she had. Too many of us sit down and you ask about the scholarship fund and they're complaining about they're retired, they don't have. We cannot do that because God has never been stingy to us. And I'm sharing this, I'm doing this reflection because when as my son was talking to me, you raise your children a certain way and they throw it right back at you, and it's a good thing. So he said, Mom, that's not who you are. You shouldn't, if you have it in your heart to do a good deed, don't let anything stop you from doing it. And his reasoning was so powerful. And right there, as I'm talking to him, I went on the phone and I got the thing done and everything went through. It was the strangest thing. And people, let me tell you this, as I raise my hand tonight to you, by the time I screenshot the MTCN number to send out, you know what happened? A notification came across my screen. It was my sister. And I saw that it says her name and something with a transaction done. I swear to you. And I was laughing, and then the phone rang. And so because I have the tablet and I have the phone, I told my son, I said, all right, it's Auntie, let me speak to her. And I was giving him the joke. I said, look, Christopher, look, I just sent the thing off and look how God good. A notification just came in that my sister blessed us right in that moment. So when we talk about, oh, we can't do, and I donate to others, and so I can't, we need to stop it, because God has never, ever been stingy to us. God has always been a blessing. And yet when we need to do good, all of a sudden we complain so much. But listen, it's all up to, I'm not, I do these things, and I remembered oftentimes when I'm doing this, and I looked at Miss Hyacinth, retired. She wasn't even a professional. She retired. But every project I do, she contributes. Every project. She contributes. The other day she was the second person to contribute to the scholarship fund to help a child buy her books. My hairdresser, she said, I have 2 kids who go to a high school, a traditional high school. She said, Miss Bev, when I went to get the books, when I got the book list and I went, the books would have cost me $50,000 for one child. She said, Miss Bev, I couldn't afford it. I bought 1 set of textbooks, and both of them have to share them. And I bought the workbook separately. She said, Miss Bev, it was a big, big deal. So when I have not been in a situation except for Kayla's books, and when I saw how much it cost, I decided to, with God's guidance, because it has to be Him, why every time I say I'm not doing it, that it works out, that I picked it up again and still doing it. And so I must give a shout out, I must give a shout out to the people who have donated so far. You know who you are, right? But I'm going to say it again because I appreciate each and every one of you who have made that sacrifice. You didn't have to, but you made the sacrifice to help someone. A child, not an adult who is going to drink and smoke and pretend and lie. When you send the funds that they're going to use it to do other things, they're going to use it to eat lobster dinner and stuff like that. No, this is for little children that I see the potential. I see that they have the potential. And I know that it's going to be hard for the parents to purchase the books. Jamaica is interesting. And when we tell you that the people them get a book list, may I tell you, them get a book list. So far the donors, Trending Live TV, Lady G, an anonymous donor gave $50. Miss Hyacinth, thank you. My son, 200. AG, my friend, thank you so much. She did 16, Miss Hyacinth 30. The anonymous donor gave 50, Lady G 25, Trending Live TV $5, AG $16, Judy $100, and Sheree Marie $100. So far, guys, we have $526 to help sponsor even one child. Right now, with 500, I can easily support 5 children, but we're looking to support 10 of them, because I know the 6th grade had quite a few kids who were on the path for greatness. And so I was hoping that we'll cut over the $1,000 mark so we can support them with their books. I must say a shout out to another person, my cousin Minerva. We've been from another channel, came over, she's still with me. So Saturday night, after I spoke with my sister, she sent us $120. Now, I said to her, thank you for support, for to help with the scholarship, to help a child, to sponsor a child. She said, no, that's not to sponsor a child yet. That money will come later. This is 100 for you, 20 for Kayla. Who could it be but God? Kayla's money is 6,200 every week. 6,200. That's not a pretty penny. But God had opened my daughter's heart, and these kids, I'm telling you. And she spoke to me on Monday. She says, well, Mommy, I'm sending this for this person, and I'm sending this. That was last Thursday, because I remember I told the person, when you come, I have a surprise for you. And she sent something for that person. And now, mind you, people might not look at it as a lot, but for me, it's a lot. And she says, Mommy, I am sending funds to help Kayla to get to school. I have to reflect on these things, guys. This has to be part of my reflection tonight, because I want somebody who hears my voice to know that God is real. That God is real. And no matter what you're going through, financial strains, whatever else, just know that He is there. And when you ask Him to open the way for you, He will hear you. When you wake up in the morning, you say, thank you, Lord, for all you have done for me. Guide and protect my children where they are. Keep their minds steadfast on Thee. And when you say to Him, Lord, as you bless me, I want to be a blessing to others. He will bless you so that you will be able to bless others. Don't sit down and count the pennies you have and why the little me have. May not have it. If you keep saying you don't have it, you'll never have it. But when God sees that what He gives you to manage, you are not selfish with it, He opens doors. And so as I reflected on it, and as I remember Lady G asking me, how was your Sabbath? I said, I need to reflect and let her know that my Sabbath was great, because not only did my sister bless me after I was a blessing to somebody else. After we finished talking, I sent a top-up to somebody's phone, because now I'm saying, God, look at you, And I topped up somebody's phone, so they could have a plan for the month. And I went on to call the person to say, check your phone. But when I dialed the number, it was my cousin's number that rang. So I hung up quickly, because I wasn't calling her, I was calling somebody. But later on, this woman called me. Man, it was we had such laughter and chatting, and she says, my cousin, my sponsor, not kidding, I said, the money may fall up here, waiting for my son to transfer it to. Who could that be but God? Who could that be but God? My friend, Miss Clark, you see the happy birthday to her on the community page. She came to Jamaica to visit, but where she is, we ain't gonna link up. We didn't link up because, And it was a family thing that they came about, and I didn't want to even think about, But that's fine. That is fine. She knows and I know. And, she called, and we talk, we chat. And she sent me a text. She says, When I go home, she says, I'm sponsoring a child. Well, when I go back to Connecticut, I will send the funds to sponsor the kid. So from something that seemed like it wasn't going anywhere, and those of you encouraged me to put it back. Put it back. I remember Miss Margaret Smith, she says, it's tax time, people will come, people will support. And yes, Miss Margaret, people really have been coming. And so I thank God and as you, and just in one day, Lady G, these are all the happenings. It was a beautiful day from morning until sunset. And it left good memories in my heart. Beautiful memories, because it just show you that God is real. Because I'm telling you in real time, as soon as I sent the thing and I swiped, I did the screenshot for the MTCN to share it with her on WhatsApp. I'm telling you, in just that amount of time, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, look at this. I just sent that, and I just got this notification. And Christopher's chuckling and he says, I told you, Mom, I'm talking to my sister, and no, this is not for to sponsor a child, it's for you and Kayla. 100 for you, $20 for Kayla. Every bit adds up, and every bit counts. And so, guys, when you see me come on here, you hear me talk, and you might say, oh, we talk about the kids too much. This is the reality. I have seen how God has worked in my life, in my children's lives, my husband's life, my brother, my sister's life. I've seen it. Day in, day out, how he opens doors. My niece, I have one niece. No, not one niece, but not one niece, but she has been like with me, with Judy, and Chris, and she's a little older, but and I've seen her working hard and doing what she needs to do, and I've seen how God opens doors. So when I come on this platform and I say to you guys, God is real, trust him. Trust him. When I see Ernestine always sending up prayers for me, prayers and blessings, sister, it works. So let us just learn to pray one for another. Let us just remember that if Christ promised, then he'll do it. Let us not sit down and lay up treasures for tomorrow, but make sure that the person next to you gets something to eat. Make sure that the person next to you has a dress or a pants or a shirt or a warm thing on his or her feet. Because remember when Christ came to this earth, they didn't even remember in a manger. In a manger. If they knew, you see, like the queen is coming to any place, the queen is coming to, what do? They fix up, they paint up, they cut down. The one thing left is for them to put gold on the street. But when Christ came, there was no place for him in the Grand Inn. No place for him. No place for him. And so he was born in humility, and he lived his life with humility from beginning to end. He never owned a house, a grand house. He never owned a car. He walked. He didn't own chariots. He walked. That should tell us something. Sometimes we sit and, I see we had a 4-bedroom house. It was just my husband and myself. 4 bedrooms, a whole huge basement, finished. And I got to the point, I said, Donnie, what are we doing with all of this? What are we doing with all of this? to maintain it. When you turn on the heat, you're heating all the space. When you go downstairs in the basement, because I never kept the house, when you come in from outside, you should feel the difference in the house. I pay the big light gas bill in the winter, and in the summer, we turn on the central air, and we pay the big central electric bill in the summer for the cooling system. Because I like that when you're coming from outside, you walk into a different temperature inside of the house. You can't come in outside and the air is so hot you could bite it, and you come in the house and the air is so hot. You know, I set the thermostat so that very cool in the summer and very warm in the winter. And finally I said to my husband, well, we're living in all of this. The kids have their own place. They don't want this. And yet we're paying all this bill every month to maintain. Time to downsize, which we did. Had to downsize. So we don't need the grandstanding. You work hard, you live well, and then you say, enough, I've had it. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. And you take your place in life, and you go on humbly and lovingly and respectfully and peacefully. So there it is for your reflections for tonight, March 30th. Hope everybody is in a good place, and if you're not, you know whose hand to reach out and touch. It still calms the waters. And please continue to like the videos. Watch them, watch the ads. Share them with a friend, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If anything I've said meant anything to you, just share it out. And so somebody else can feel revived or uplifted or motivated or supported or hopeful or positive, something, anything. Make it a great night by choice. Good night.